guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my yearly favorites for 2019. There was a lot of products that launched in 2019. There's a lot of things that I really enjoyed, but I really narrowed it down to the things that I am consistently wearing. So since I'm holding the beauty blender, I'm going to start off with tools that I loved in 2019. So the first thing that I'm completely obsessed with is the e.l.f. sponge. This sponge is so affordable. I want to say it's between $3 to $5. You can find it pretty much anywhere at any drugstores. You can find it at Ulta. All the above, they have this sponge, and I feel like this sponge is absolutely great because it is so bouncy and it's able to really put on that product on your face. I also love it because when you dampen the sponge, it gets so big. That's something that I really appreciate because I feel like a lot of sponges, they just kind of get to that medium size, but this gets big, like jumbo big. This was by far my favorite beauty sponge. You guys always saw me use this in my foundation reviews, so I knew that I had to mention it today. Next up, we have our Morphe sponge. This is Morphe in collaboration with Jaclyn Highl JH03 brush. This is my absolute favorite brush to apply foundation. It just buffs it in so perfectly. You guys know Morphe is always very inexpensive. You can consistently use also influencers codes that have them with Morphe to get discounts, so you're getting a really good deal with this brush. The next brush that I love is my IT Cosmetics bronzer brush. This one is the number 8 brush, and I love it to apply my powder contour. I feel like it does such a beautiful job of really getting in there and applying it everywhere that it needs to be, but also blending it very seamlessly, which is something that matters to me. The next one is my Milani brush. This, okay, so when I bought this actually at CVS, and I don't think it was necessarily like a highlighting brush, but I use it as a highlighter because it kind of has like this little dip in here. And I feel like that side applies the highlight so perfectly. So I'm always applying my highlight on with this baby, and it just gives me the prettiest, most precise glow because it pats it exactly where you want it as opposed to applying it all over. The next brush, this is really one that completely changed the game for me this year. This is the KKW Beauty brush. This one is the concealer brush, but I love it to blend out my nose contour. And this is the perfect brush because it is nice and fluffy, it's precise, but it blends everything out to perfection. And I feel like sometimes in the past, I've had issues with nose contour because it wasn't blending well, and it all depends on the brush. And that goes for any type of makeup application. If you don't have a good brush, it's just not going to work out in your favor. So you always want to make sure that you are consistently using good quality brushes because that will make sure that everything else lays nice. Now we're going to move into my primers. So I'm going to start with the first one that I discovered, and it was around this time last year that I really discovered it, but I really used it for a good chunk of 2019, and that is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. If you guys watched my dupe video, I duped this with the Tati one, which was very expensive, the silk canvas, and this really shook me to the core, and you guys can see I still have a lot left, and that's because a very little amount of this goes a long way. What this does for me is whenever I want a very perfected airbrush poreless finish around my enlarged pores, which tend to be around my nose, I apply this and it completely changes the game. It conceals them, but it doesn't feel too heavy. It doesn't look like it's absorbing into my skin in a way that it's going to clog my pores. It's more so just concealing it so it looks more perfected through the day. I think that's one of the biggest things that I learned in 2019 is that not all primers need to be applied everywhere. You can use different primers for different situations that you may have going on your face. I know moving into 2020 that they are coming out with the matte version of this and the luminous version, so I'm definitely going to be checking those out, and I will be doing a review on both of them, split in half on the face, so we can see how they work side by side. So stay tuned for that, it's coming soon. Okay, so the next one is Cover FX Scripting Primer. So this primer came shortly after the e.l.f. Putty Primer, and I became obsessed. One of the first people that I heard talk about this was Tati, and she raved about it. And you guys know Tati, she's like the queen of reviews. So anything that she says that is good, I really trust because that woman knows exactly what she's talking about. And shortly after she did mention this, this product started to become sold out everywhere. So I started using this and I found that it was one of the most beautiful primers I've ever used in terms of it really giving you that perfected finish, giving you glass-like skin, but also making that foundation stick and grip onto your skin all day long. And I do feel like for special occasions where you're looking for something to really look beautiful for a very, very long part of the day. So now we're gonna move on to Kokie Cosmetics primers. These were more recent discoveries, but I think that they completely changed the game for me, and they made my makeup look so beautiful. If you're looking for a more lightweight consistency when it comes to a blurring primer, you don't want all that like super thick texture, or you don't want something that's going to clog your pores necessarily. You want something that's a little bit more jelly-like. This is one that you are going to love. Not only is it great for blurring, but it's also really good for hydrating. I find myself right now during the season where my cheeks are very dry because my rosacea is like, whoa, it is cold out. I use this, it completely blurs out my pores, but it also hydrates my skin instantly, melts into my skin, and gives me the prettiest base so that when I go in with foundation, it's like I have no pores. Now, another primer by Kokie Cosmetics that I really love is the So Matte Primer. This primer is excellent because it's not that thick of a consistency. It's not gonna make your skin feel dry or separate. It hydrates me, and it also gives me that perfected matte finish, absorbing those oils, but still giving your skin that really pretty like radiance. So these are really good staples. If you're looking for something more affordable, you can find them at Rite Aid, or you can go on kokiecosmetics.com and purchase these. I want to say they're around like $8, or they're like between $5 to $8. But you can always use my coupon code, TheMexBeauty, all lowercase, and save yourself 25% your entire order, which is always phenomenal. Okay, so now we're gonna move into foundations, because I know you guys are very curious to see what I'm gonna mention, considering the fact that I'm consistently reviewing foundations on my channel all year long. These foundations are the foundations that not only do I think are amazing, but also foundations that I'm consistently wearing. So I'm gonna start off with my absolute favorite of 2019, and that is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation. This stuff is absolutely beautiful. I recommend this more so to people that have normal to oily skin, people that like a more full coverage finish, that want a finish that's gonna make them look absolutely perfected and almost airbrush looking. And also people that want a little bit more of like a matte finish. It's not completely matte, but I definitely do feel like it's more so matte than like a hydrating dewy foundation. Because it is a more full coverage consistency, you're able to get away with either a sponge or a brush. Next one that I want to talk about is one that's a little bit more pricier. This is the Pure 4-in-1 foundation. This is also another foundation that is more so of a full coverage. So if you don't like full coverage like that, you're probably not gonna like this necessarily. And I find that with this one, very little of this goes a long way. So this will last you forever because you don't need that much. You will start to apply it and it's like full coverage right away. And the main person who always raves about this foundation is Raw Beauty Kristi. She swears by this. And every time she's applying it, I'm like, this is so satisfying to wash, because her makeup looks absolutely beautiful when she's applying it. And you're just like, oh my God, this foundation is giving you all that good. But this comes with a pump, and it also comes with the doe foot applicator, which I thought was really cool when I applied this and when I was reviewing it for the first time, because you can apply it either or. I like to apply it this way. Next foundation that I want to talk about, I want to talk about something more on the like luminous buildable side, and that's the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation. This foundation is beautiful for my people that have dry skin. It gives you a very luminous, beautiful finish, and I found that this one is one that really gives me that hydration that I need. I actually wore this, I want to say a few days ago, and my skin was just really, really dry and flaky, and it completely laid so beautiful on top of my cheeks. It didn't enhance my texture, and it just made everything sit really nicely. And the last one is the Kokie Cosmetics foundation. This one was more so of a end of the year foundation that I came to really fall in love with. I want to say it wasn't the end of the year. It was like the end of summer that I started using this, and I fell in love with this. You guys can see I use this all the time. And like I mentioned, because I'm constantly reviewing foundations, it's hard for me to go through things really, really fast. So if I'm going through something really fast, that just means that I love it so much. So I like to use this when I'm also looking for a very snatched finish. I would say that this foundation by Kokie Cosmetics, the full cover foundation, is a dupe for the Pure 4-in-1. So if you're looking for something much, much cheaper, that's gonna give you that very perfected, beautiful airbrush, full coverage porcelain doll finish, this is exactly what you're going towards. I am in the shade 60W with this, and I've been wearing this all the time. Like, I just love the full coverage finish. I think that this is definitely more so a foundation for las fiestas, when you really want to look snatch, or if you're going to be taking some bomb-ass selfies. This is what you're going to want to turn to because it gives you that beautiful finish, and I feel like it looks the most beautiful when I wear it with the Kokie primers. And like I mentioned, I do also have a coupon code with this. It is the Mex Beauty, all lowercase. You can use my coupon and get 25% off your order. So I highly recommend this. Okay, so now I want to talk about eyeshadow. And I know that there are so many amazing eyeshadow palettes that came out this year. I really have to give it to these two brands. I want to first start off with Tati Beauty. This one came out, when was it? Like November, at the end of October. And I feel like Tati, I mean, it's Tati. She knows what she's talking about. This palette is the one. If you're somebody that's just getting into makeup and you're looking for a well-rounded palette, this is the palette that you're gonna get. It has all the mattes that you need for every day for nighttime. Then it has like these sequin shades, which I never use sequin type of finishes until I use this palette. And I really like it because on days where I don't want to go in with a matte finish or a like shimmery finish, I can just go in with the sequins and apply it all over my eyes, and it gives me the prettiest look, especially for my people that like more so of that natural finish. I think that this is definitely a good way to get into like shimmers, or if you don't like shimmers and you like a little bit more subtle but not matte, this is another good situation for you. The shimmers are absolutely beautiful. I would say these shimmers, they aren't foiled shimmers, but they're shimmery enough where you're like, oof. And then if you go in with like a little bit of a spray, it's going to really make your eyes pop. So I really love these shimmers. And the glitters, I'm not a big glitter person because like I mentioned, I hate having to remove it or having to apply eyeliner on top, but they apply so beautifully with a brush or with your fingers. That I definitely feel like it's a must-have for your collection, and I love the fact that Tati started off with colors that are very wearable. I'm so excited to see what other palettes she comes out with because this is only volume 1. Okay, so now I want to talk about Araceli Beauty, Latina-owned brand. Araceli Beauty, absolutely beautiful, beautiful eyeshadows. And the reason I wanted to mention these is because Tati's palette is beautiful, but it's a big palette. So I know some people are like, I don't want to do that. But Araceli Beauty's formula, and that's mainly what I'm discussing. And this is the first palette they launched, the Jalisco palette, and you can see beautiful shades. I live for the shade Tequila. It is so stunning. You have a good distribution of like wearable shades to like evening out shades so that you can play with. And then you have this beautiful mirror right here. For traveling, this is definitely one that I took a lot in 2019. And then recently they just came out with this other palette, which is the Azteca palette. And I mean, these colors are just colors that you will be using all the time. And the cool part about this is that I feel like with these colors, you can literally use them in the daytime and in the nighttime. And you're supporting a Latina-owned brand, so why not do it? You know what I mean? Okay, so now I want to talk about like complexion products. Flower Beauty's Warm Hibiscus is by far my favorite blush of 2019. This really shook me to the core. When I first saw it, I was like, let me try it. I heard so many people like Nikki Tutorials talk about how good Flower Beauty's blushes were. So I was like, let me give this a try. And I fell in love with this blush. I feel like the blush has the prettiest color that completely suits and flatters my skin. I also like the fact that this kind of has a little tiny bit of a hint of a gold like twinkle sparkle in there. Really highly pigmented products that I would highly recommend. You can find this at Ulta. It's an affordable brand, so you won't be breaking the buck for blushes, because you guys know how I feel about blushes. I like my more affordable blushes because I do feel like affordable blushes are the best blushes. The next product I want to talk about is Fenty Beauty's bronzers Beige, and it's currently what I'm wearing right now, and I feel like it gives me the perfect amount of warmth that gives my face life. You guys know that I love dimension on my face, so when I can find a good bronzer that's gonna brighten me and that's gonna give me that like, you know, she got a tan, she got a good glow, I'm gonna go for it. So this is like everything. Another product I really fell in love with that I've been using nonstop ever since I purchased it was the Kylie Cosmetics powder in beige. And I was so obsessed with my Airspun powder, and I still love it. I love it to death. That's the best powder at the drugstore. But I feel like this one is just as good. And if you want to go for a little bit more pricey, this is good. I like this because it's in beige, so it kind of gives me that brightening effect that I really appreciate, especially for my under eye, because you guys know that I'm always baking my under eyes because they crease. I just feel like some powders tend to dry your skin out, but this doesn't leave my skin feeling or looking dry. The next product is my Wet n Wild's contour stick. This is my baby. This is what I use to contour every single day, and I absolutely love it because it gives me the perfect snatch. I will forever purchase this until they discontinue it because I definitely do think it's amazing, and I think it is a dupe for the KKW Beauty contour stick. So I would highly recommend this if you're looking for a contour stick similar to that but don't want to spend that much money on a contour stick. I want to now go into concealers because I have 3 staple concealers that completely were amazing to me, and 2 out of the 3 are drugstore. So I'm going to start off with the most expensive one, and I feel like I probably mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again because it's that good, and I think that everybody should go out and purchase this. So this is the Marc Jacobs concealer, and this one is really good for those people that want a more natural makeup on the day-to-day, who are just going to be wearing concealer, not really wearing foundation. This is excellent too because it covers those dark circles, especially after late nights, whether it's working really hard, studying really hard, or going out. I feel like it can really cover what it needs to cover and cover also some redness, some imperfections, and you're good to go. It isn't the cheapest, but I definitely think that for somebody that doesn't wear a lot of makeup and doesn't, you know, have a lot of makeup expenses, like you're not constantly buying makeup, I think that this is one that will last you a while and that you will get really good use out of it. So now I'm going to move into the next one, which is a more so medium coverage concealer, but it's really, really good. So this is my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate. I love this concealer, especially when I'm wearing like a full coverage foundation. Like right now I'm wearing the Pure 4-in-1, and like I mentioned, it is full coverage. So I like to use a product that's a little bit more lightweight consistency and more hydrating, because if I use a full coverage concealer and a full coverage foundation, it's gonna end up separating, or it's gonna end up looking very heavy under the eyes. And the next one is another very affordable one, LA Colors Ultimate Cover Concealer. This coverage is absolutely amazing. I know it looks small and tiny, and there's 0.13 ounces in here, but the reason why there's so little product is because very little of this goes a long way. Because I know sometimes some people have very evened out skin, but then they just have dark circles. So you can just go in with a medium coverage foundation, and then you can go in with your full coverage concealer right on the under eyes, and it's gonna cover everything it needs to cover. So while I was talking about the eyes, one thing that I forgot to mention was my P. Louise base in Rumour 2. I use this non-stop all year, and you guys saw that because every time I would do a tutorial, I always talk about this. I think this is an amazing, amazing, amazing base for your eyes, especially when those occasions where you're looking to have your eyeshadow stay all day long. This is what you need. Okay, so now I want to talk about 2 highlighters that completely just left me in awe this year. The first one is by Kokie Cosmetics. This one is in Heavenly, and I talked about this a lot, and I actually stopped talking about it for a little bit because it was sold out. But this highlighter, it is beautiful. I truly think this is like a dupe for Anastasia Beverly Hills Resi. It gives you that wet appearance. You don't have to use any type of spray to like really make it pop. It pops on its own, and you guys can see I used a lot of this, but I feel like if you're around my complexion, you're going to be obsessed with this highlighter. Very affordable. You can get it at your local Rite Aids, or like I mentioned, on KokieCosmetics.com, and you can use my discount code and save some cash. But I literally live for this highlighter. The next one is a more recent one, a very recent one actually, but it quickly became one of my favorites, and I feel like this formula is done so right that if you haven't gotten your hands on this, you need to do that right now. And that is the Jaclyn Cosmetics highlighter. This is the loose highlighter in Bomb. I have to say, the loose collection, absolute dream. It's different than anything I've ever seen. It really gives you that beautiful glow. Like, it legit looks like you're wearing Jaclyn Hill's glow. It's like she graced you and she opened the gates of Glow Nation and just had this and handed it to you. Bomb highlighter by Jaclyn Cosmetics, really good. For lashes, I want to talk about 2 brands that I just feel like as a whole, they really crushed it this year. The first one is Baddie B lashes. I'm wearing the style F-Boy. All of Baddie B lashes are amazing. I have so many, and like I live for them. My favorite styles are this one, which is F-Boy. I also really love Sugar Baby. Let me try to pull it out. I had to buy another one because it was that good. So this is Sugar Baby. You can see it is so full and fluffy. It goes from like short to long, so it kind of gives you that winged out effect. Baddie B Lashes has such good quality lashes that will look so good and last you so many wears, and you're gonna really get your money's worth. They were like about $19, and I've been using these a lot lately, and they still look absolutely perfect. The next brand that I want to talk about is Unscripted Beauty. They're a newer brand. And with Unscripted Beauty, I am obsessed with Blueprint and also Legendary. Those are the two that I'm absolutely obsessed with. I actually just got rid of Legendary because of the fact that I use it so much. It's only been, what, like a month and a half that I had it, and I use it so much that I was just like, I need to throw this pair out. So I'm ordering more, but they're so good. The Blueprint, if you're looking for something wearable for every day, this is your type of lash. By the end of the day, I don't feel anything. With some other lash brands, I've noticed that like I'll be wearing the lashes and I'm like, oh my God, I just want to take these off. But with these two brands in particular, it feels so comfortable for the entire day. There's actually one more lash I want to talk about. I have like a lash drawer, guys. Like I literally have a bunch of lashes. And that is Ardell Naked Lashes. This collection from the Ardell brand is great, especially for my beginners. I know the lashes that I just mentioned, you may be looking at them and be like, those are really, really intense for me. But these are the Naked Lashes in 424. Whenever I want a very like subtle, natural look, this is what I go for. I mean, whether it's without liner or with liner, this looks good either way. And because it is that naked band, it literally looks like it's part of your own lash. So if you go in and curl your lash, apply mascara, and apply these, you're golden. Okay, so now I want to talk about my favorite lipsticks of 2019. And I'm first going to talk about the fact that this year was the year that I became obsessed and addicted with lip liner. My entire life, I've always been like, F lip liner. Like, I don't need lip liner. What's the point of lip liner? Like, I can just do my lips and fill them in perfectly without a lip liner. But boy, was I so wrong, because lip liners make the biggest difference. They add dimension, they make your lips look bigger, they make them look juicier, plumper, all the above. So this year, the best lip liners have to go to KKW Beauty. My favorite ones by KKW Beauty are the nude number 2.5 and also the classic icon liners. But I do have a pencil liner that I'm obsessed with, and that is Versatile Chestnut. You guys can see I've used this a lot because I've sharpened it so many times. This is another one that's staple for me. Definitely check it out. I feel like it goes with a lot of like terracotta shades, or even with nudes if you really want to give it a lot of dimension and a lot of like 90s vibes. This is great. As for the lipstick department, I want to talk about the KKW Beauty lipsticks. Their lipsticks are so creamy. I'm wearing this lipstick right now. I'm actually wearing the one from the Mario collection, the Classic K, the first collection. They're so creamy. Like, it's unbelievable. And I'm wearing lip liner number 2.5 by KKW Beauty. My favorite ones are the nude number 3, the nude number 6, and the nude number 4 by KKW Beauty. They are so good. Other two lipsticks that I want to talk about that I was wearing a lot this year. The first one is ColourPop Shayla collab. This one is Slow Down. It is like the prettiest nude. And I literally wore this all summer long. And then I wore it with its matching lip liner. I have so many lip liners here that I'm just like, girl, here it is. The matching lip liner is BFF. So these two, this is like a dark lip liner, and then this is more so of a nude. Together, they look stunning. Another lipstick that I really love, that these are like matte formulas, is the Kylie lipstick. It's literally Kylie Lip Kit. That's the name of the lipstick. And I like it because it's like this pretty pink. I feel like it's gonna come back for me, especially moving into like February when it's like Valentine's and everybody wears pink. This is like a soft pink, and then the lip liner is a little bit more of a darker pink, so it adds that really good dimension there too. So I really love these lipsticks. These were like some of my absolute favorites. I almost forgot. You guys always ask me about these. Araceli Beauty's gel liner. This is like a pencil one that you sharpen, and then this is their liquid liner. Ojos Perfectos. They're amazing. They will last all day long. This is how I get this perfect sharp wing. I use this a lot. You can see I'm almost done. It hasn't even been that long. Like, I've had this for probably half a year now. Another really good liner is the one by Benefit. This is the black one, the roller liner. They also have a brown one, which I need to get my hands on because I do want to start doing brown liner as well because I think it looks pretty. But these three have been like in rotation all year long. I know I gave you guys so much in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching my yearly favorites. I have so many many products on my table right now, but I really, really love these products from the bottom of my heart. I'm so passionate about them. They were products that were so good to me in 2019, and I will continue using them in 2020. I can't believe it's 2020. I'm so excited to see what they are going to launch this year in 2020 because I feel like makeup brands are just on to the next thing, and I'm sure there's going to be some really, really good launches this year and things that I'm going to become so obsessed with. Please take my recommendations and check some of these out. Please leave down below your favorite products of 2019. I would love to know what they are because I'm sure there's some amazing products that you have to share with me, and I shared a bunch with you, so why not share with me, right? Let's do a trade-off here. I would love for you to become a member of a family here on YouTube because I wouldn't want you guys to miss this fun for the world. I always got you guys. I hook you guys up with the best makeup, and I'm so excited to see what I'm going to hook you up with in 2020. So keep watching, subscribe now because you want to join this fun. And that being said, I love you guys so much. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed watching it. And I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye, guys.